Nicole Smith from Blood and Iron Martial Arts, and for today's episode, I'm going to need the masked assistant. Today we're going to talk to you about something you don't hear a lot about outside of historical European martial arts, and that is sword and buckler. Now, you may ask the question, why do we even bother with a little one when we can use a great big one? I mean, it makes sense. It covers so much more of me than that little thing does. Now, you're not far wrong. In a battlefield situation, you never know where the attack is going to come from. So, why do we even bother with a little one? Now, you gotta understand, in medieval and Renaissance Europe, weapons weren't just for the battlefield. They were also for personal defense. Carrying something as big as the rotella around for, everyday use would have been a little unwieldy. The buckler is way more compact and much more manageable. Now, having a larger shield can be a bit of a double-edged sword. Notice as he's trying to cut, it can sort of get in the way and limit you as to what you're able to do. Now, in my example, my smaller shield, I can move a lot more freely. Keeping the sword and buckler together is really important. Splitting them up can be a recipe for disaster. Keeping your hands together is important for another reason. It protects your hands. Throwing a cut ahead of your buckler, well, that's a free arm shot. Although it's a good idea to keep your sword and buckler together, it's not an absolute. And there are going to be times when you want to separate them, depending on the technique you're using. I'll show you one of my favorites. And it can also be used as a weapon in its own right. Sword and buckler was a weapon style taught by many different masters in different times and places. In fact, we have not even begun to scratch the surface on the different styles and techniques and how they work together and against each other, and, well, there's way too much to get into right now. But for now, we hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit more of what sword fighting actually looked like. Fell off, didn't it?